3?
Well, my husband comes home, and he'd been at a men's conference at our church, and he comes home with a Max card, and he says, I found this great product, and I think you need to hear about it. And I said, network marketing. I said, don't want to hear about it. Flags went up. And so, long story short, he convinced me to go to a meeting there in Frisco. And what he didn't tell me is that the company was owned by Stephen K. Scott. And so that was huge for me because I'd been reading his books, and he had been to our church several times. The other thing I didn't realize is the people who were in the room at the meeting, it was several of the businessmen that were from our church that I had a lot of respect for. And one of our pastors was there as well. So I looked around the room. I looked at the caliber of the people that were in the room. I said, okay, this is different. I really need to check this out. So, of course, then you go into the owners, and it was, Stephen K. Scott, which I mentioned, but also Guthrie Ranker, that association. And the company that I worked for at the time was one of our major clients was Guthrie Ranker. So that was huge for me coming from a corporate background. So all of a sudden, the whole network marketing thing kind of took a back seat. And what happened was then I really engaged, and I started hearing about the product, which blew me away. Just all of the science behind it, the patent, all of the, the doctor, just all of that just made total sense. And so at the end of the meeting, I looked at my husband and I said, we're in. And he looked at me and says, what? But so we got in that night. We bought in, at the time it was a Super Achiever Pack, and we said we're going to do this. And wasn't sure how. I had never been in a network marketing company, so this was way out of my comfort zone. Long story short, a few weeks later, my husband lost his job. We really didn't get engaged as quickly as I would have liked to. We were focused on some other things, and we were kind of not sure what to do. So we kind of, we worked with it a little bit. It wasn't until the middle of July, Max's showcase came to town in Frisco, Texas, and I went to that, and it was an incredible event. I went to support my husband because I wasn't quite ready to do this full time like he was. And like I said, we weren't really as engaged as we needed to be, still trying to figure it out. Well, the very next day after that showcase, I was laid off. So I came home and I looked at my husband and I said, guess what? You've got a full-time partner now. So we hit the ground running. We'd already lost 30 days because our fast track started on 7/1. So we got our diamond pack at the end of the month, which meant that we'd already lost several days, almost a month. So we hit the ground running, and it was tough, but it was fun. We cried, we laughed, there were good days and bad days, but we made it with a day to spare. And it's just been an incredible, incredible journey, and there's so much more to learn. But the people, the company, this weekend has just sealed it for me. Not that it wasn't sealed before, now it is just incredibly solid and just awesome.